How's it going, everybody? This is part 2 of the Q&A. I'm filming it the same day I filmed part 1. I was going to film it the following day, but wait a little bit. I'm going to do the rest of the questions now. I still have a decent amount left, but this one I'm going to try to keep under an hour. Where was I? Okay. Unlink22. Once again, I say I apologize for the butchering of any usernames. Do I listen to music? If so, what music artists, genres are your favorite? I do. I actually just did a music ramble. I think it was 2 weeks ago. No, it was last week. I was in Florida when I did it, I believe. Metal, alternative, rock. Those are my favorites. I like orchestral stuff. Faith No More, Helmet, Ministry, Alice in Chains. Some of my favorite bands, Megadeth, Buckethead's really cool, 311, Primus. I listen to a lot of video game soundtracks as well, which are always fun. My listening of music has differed in terms of how I kind of consume it back when I used to listen to like full albums back then, but a lot of those bands, my favorites, Soundgarden. I can go on and on, but I have done some music rambles. If you want to watch those, you can see more in-depth stuff. But metal's probably my favorite genre. Ministry. Did I say Ministry? Alternative stuff, grunge, whatever you want to call it. Regular rock and roll, like Tom Petty and Aerosmith and stuff. The Doors. Faith No More is my favorite band. Iron Maiden's in the top 5. Helmet, Ministry. But yeah, thank you for the question. Barry Buttcheek says, it's funny because I'm going to tell you now, YouTube does not like your username because all of your comments are always hidden. I always have to click on newest, and I always do when I see, like, I have 7 comments, but I only see 6. I'm like, somebody's comment has been hidden. I don't know why YouTube does this. They just don't like usernames. I don't know. I think this is more of a joke comment, though. What's my height, weight, and social security number? I did say my height. I was asked at 5'11". My weight is too much. Probably 210. What am I, 210 now? Something like that. I haven't weighed myself, but my social security number is probably all over the internet these days, right? We all are. But thank you for the questions. Real or not, but like I'm saying, like, YouTube does not like your, like, I don't know, it's because the username doesn't go with what they are. I don't know. But your comments always end up hidden. Always. And they're normal comments. So I'm like, well, I'm not hiding them. YouTube, there's nothing in them that's weird. I'm like, maybe it's the username. YouTube's weird and annoying. But I always look on newest, though. When I see the comments don't add up to what I say, I always hit newest, and then it pulls up the other ones. So they're hidden, but they're not. That's another thing. If you think your comment isn't being seen, hit newest, and it will pop up. Thank you for the questions. And let me put the thing there. And not that it matters, because I'm finishing it up this time. I'm trying to go a little quicker this time. But I did get a lot of questions with multiple questions in them, like a lot of people have, so it takes a little longer there. Eli, L-E-X-O, Eli XO. And there's another part, there's 2 in a row that said social security number. Well, that's all. Mother's maiden name, credit card information. Obviously, they're joking. What's my go-to dance move? I don't have one. I don't dance much, and when I do, I just kind of move my body around. I don't even think it would be considered any kind of move. I do not dance. The Xbox Ally? No, I probably won't get it. I mean, depends on the price. It'd be cool to have those games kind of just digitally on there through Game Pass or whatever. Would be kind of cool, but I wouldn't be getting one anytime soon. If anything, I'd probably get a Steam Deck, actually. But I don't plan on getting that anytime soon either, so I'd say no for now. What I want to be when I was growing up. I did want to be a cop for a bit, just because my mom was one. That was really the only one I focused on. And then it was just whatever. I did whatever. I did screen printing stuff and shit like that. But that's the only thing, like, I actually was like, I want to do this. And then it went out. It was gone. And then I didn't have anything else. But yeah, thank you for those questions. I forgot Microsoft was making that thing. Deej asks, see, it says Deej and it's MP3MC. I don't know if it's just YouTube and it's crap. What was my favorite video game system from the 90s? Or video game from the 90s? I always go back and forth, Genesis, Super Nintendo. It's like 1 and 1A. It's like 1A, 1B. It's either one of them, depends on the day. Plenty of favorite games back then, though. And of course, you can go into the Nintendo 64. I did not have a PlayStation back then, so I was not playing PlayStation games in the 90s. I had seen some, but I haven't experienced with any. So Ocarina of Time was in the 90s. That's definitely in the tops. Infernal Machine actually came out in 2000, so that would not be. Indiana Jones Infernal Machine. GoldenEye was in the 90s. That's another one. Star Fox 64, F-Zero X. Was it F-Zero X on those? A lot of Nintendo 64 games from the Mario 64. Then the stuff like ActRaiser on the Super Nintendo, Tecmo Super Bowl, UN Squadron, A Link to the Past, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy IV, 2 or 3. All favorites. Genesis, I was playing the sport games like NHL 94, Lakers vs. Celtics games. Golden Axe was always a favorite. King's Bounty on the Genesis was a game I really liked. The Road Rash games I liked. I can go on and on with those too. That is my favorite era of gaming. Even you want to throw the TurboGrafx in there. There are some. Although technically, I actually know. You know what? I'll put games in there for the Genesis, but I forgot the Genesis actually came out in '89. So realistically, it would be the Super Nintendo. The Genesis was '89, and the TurboGrafx might have been '89 too, or maybe even '88. So it'd have to be the Super Nintendo. And their second question is, memorable sports moment as a fan. It was probably when Denver won their first Super Bowl, the Broncos. It was awesome. They beat the Packers. Back and forth game. I remember the Packers went down the field in 2 plays, I feel, on the first drive. 7. I was like, oh my God, it's going to be another Denver getting destroyed in the Super Bowl. Denver took a lead. Then it was going back and forth, back and forth. Denver won at the end. I think it was John Mobley that broke up the last pass to end the game. That was incredible. I was just like, oh my God, this is nuts. That's my favorite moment, followed by then the Super Bowl the next year when they repeated. They started 13-0 that second year in '98. The '98 season, '99 Super Bowl. And the Giants beat them. And then I think they ended up 14-2. The Dolphins did as well. Denver always struggles with the Dolphins no matter what year it is. They did beat them in the playoffs that year. And the Jets, and then they played Atlanta. Those are my favorite moments. So there was other ones too, like when the Broncos beat the Oilers. I think it was the '92 playoffs, '91 season. They lost to the Bills in the AFC Championship. That was a tight game. It was one of the Elway's drives. That was a great moment. There's some good moments in basketball. Portland winning some rounds, but they never ended up winning it. The Islanders had a dynasty, but I was extremely young when that was going on the first 3 years of my life. But yeah, it's the 2 Super Bowls. I like the 1 in 15 as well, where they beat Carolina, but it wasn't the same. I was already kind of checking out a bit of football. I still enjoyed it, but it didn't. The first one. Phew. But thank you for the questions. Ethan Felsky asks, what's your prediction for the Stanley Cup next year? Yeah, Florida's probably going to be competing again next year. They said it's hard to bet against Florida. They'll be competing. Edmonton will still be there. I think it's McDavid's last year on the contract, so they'll probably still be competing. Vegas added Mitch Marner. They're going to be competing. Could Florida repeat? Maybe. They did go to 3 in a row. They lost that first one to Vegas. But yeah, I couldn't pick who's going to win it. I'm going to say teams like Edmonton, Vegas, Florida. Who else is floating around the East? I don't know. The East doesn't have a lot of power. Tampa might pop up again. I don't know. I'd say those. I don't know who's going to win it, but I would say those teams are going to be. I'd say Vegas is going to be a favorite. Florida will be a favorite Edmonton will be up there again. I mean, they went to 2 in a row too. They lost them both, but Dallas will be good again. Colorado should be there. You know, Carolina should be there, but I don't think they can get past Florida. But thank you for your question. Wrath of Cahome? Wrath of Combe? And once again, sorry for these butchering of names. I'm going to repeat that a bunch of times, probably. What was my game of the year so far? If you haven't played any newer games, what was the favorite of what you played so far? Well, Indie came out technically on the Xbox last year, but it's been my favorite game so far this year, in 25, because it came out on the PS5 in 25. Silent Hill was last year as well. But it's probably Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. What else have I played that come out this year? I don't even know. I haven't played much. I don't play a lot that comes out immediately anymore. It's probably Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I love that game. And the thing is, I haven't even completed it yet. I'm at the end, but I do love it. I would have to really shit the bed on the ending for me to be like, oh my god. But I beat RoboCop this year, and that was cool. And Hogwarts Legacy, but they did not come out this year, though. They were both cool games. But yeah, it's probably Indiana Jones, because I haven't touched anything else. And Silent Hill was last year. Did I get anything else this year? That, came out this year? Yeah, all the other stuff, I got new games, but they all released earlier. It's the indie game. But thank you for the question. Tiki ASMR asks, what's my top 2 to 3 horror movies of all time? Blair Witch Project. I always go between that and Ravenous, favorite movies of all time. Blair Witch is incredible. Saw it in the theater. Only movie I ever seen in the theater that had me on the edge of my seat. Loved it. The original Halloween is incredible. Another favorite movie of mine that's always going to be up there. Ravenous is like a horror thriller, and Ravenous is another top movie for me. I love Ravenous. Check out Ravenous if you haven't. It's a great movie. It's about cannibalism in the 1800s at Fort Spencer. It's a good movie. Guy Pearce, Robert Carlyle, David Arquette, Neil McDonough's in there. But Blair Witch is my favorite. It's just it's so good. It's so good. Couldn't have worked with any other actors other than the ones they got. If you had known actors in there at the time, it wouldn't have worked the same as unknowns, in my opinion. And Ravenous, the original Halloween's always incredible. The Evil Dead movies are great. Exorcist is a classic. Poltergeist. But yeah, it's Halloween, Ravenous, Blair Witch. Although, straight up horror, like Halloween's at least more traditional. Horror movie. The Killer. The Nightmare on Elm Street's a great. Friday the 13th is a classic. Even though some of them are terrible. The Thing is incredible. There's a lot of good stuff. But anyway, thanks for the question on that one. Glizzy Gump asks, favorite occupation you had in your life? It's the screen printing. We're doing the screen printing stuff. Because I was working with friends and stuff. It was cool. It was fun. I liked doing all that stuff. The stuff I was doing in there was nice. It was a good time. But it's fun. You're working with people and stuff. You're hanging out, joking with each other and stuff all day. You listen to your tunes and stuff. It's more laid back. And we still got the job done and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to say the print shop was my favorite occupation. But thank you for the question. I'm not going soft-spoken here. I apologize. Broski Noob asks, best energy drink. It's probably the Ghost Orange Cream or whatever the hell it was called. The Dreamsicle, I think, was Rain. That one was really good. Any kind of orange cream one is always good. I remember the Ghost one. I need to just review that one again because it was that good. There was that other monster one. I think it was like It was like a Strawberry Dreams, maybe it was called. That one was really good too. I forget. The Ghost is just called Orange Cream, I think, and that one's probably my favorite. I think. I'm trying to remember because I've had a lot now. It's been a while since. I'd probably go with any one of those ones though. But thank you for the question. Laptop's making some low noise. Cool Guy 6371 asks. That's the when I opened the PO box. I've talked about it. They'd love to send me some AFL cards. That's the Australian Football League. I'm still thinking about it. Most likely it's going to happen. I'm very strange with that kind of stuff. You know, just because, you know, it's like, I want, like, a big, if you want to send me a game. And I feel like I'm just getting, you know, like, it's very, I go back and forth with that kind of stuff, and it's really hard to explain with it. But it is a good way for me if I want to sell some more of the Slip into Shadows, is Shady Shirts, or if I want to do some raffles as well. I will eventually do it when it happens. I'm not going to say. I keep saying it's going to be this, maybe August, because, you know, it's the 6 month, I do a 6 month one. It's $98 for 6 months. It's more when I feel like spending that $98. I mean, I could do it tomorrow, but I will eventually do it, but I need to put, like, guidelines on that. Like, just don't send me, I don't want, you know, random stuff coming. If you want to send me some cards, you know, I like my cards, sport cards, and, you know, if it's treats and stuff that you want me to try, because then that becomes content. You know, even games is tough, because I don't want people sending me valuable games and stuff like it. It's very weird to me in that front. I know I've done that Amazon wish list, but that's still different than, like, oh, here's somebody sending like a $200 game. It's like, I can't. I'd be definitely giving you a free shirt if somebody did that. But I'll talk about that again at a point. Next channel update. But thank you for the question. MP2 Smasher X asks, a couple questions here. Pick one console out of your collection. What would it be? See, once again, I guess it would be the Genesis, because I don't own a Super Nintendo right now. I have the Retron. It'd be the Genesis, probably the Super Nintendo. I mean, the Nintendo 64, probably one of those two if I was picking, just because of all nostalgia and the stuff I like on those. Do I have a favorite childhood memory with siblings or friends? I got a lot of memories with friends, you know, hanging out at the field when I was a kid. A lot of elementary school stuff. And kind of times of the memorable stuff. Winning those two, it's the same thing kind of as the memorable question I got from part one. You know, doing that, winning those Little League games was fun. You know, playing, I knew people on the team and stuff, friends. But just the stuff, playing manhunt, playing basketball and stuff with friends was always fun memories. Like, I don't have any, like, it's hard to find, like, specific memories for me, you know. Getting the Nintendo 64 and everybody's getting baked and, like, come up into the room, you gotta see this. This is nuts. You know, stuff like that. Having sleepovers with friends and stuff. Those kind of things. I don't have any, like, crazy memory. Do me and my fiance have favorite video games to play together? We do play games together. We just played, what was it? It Takes Two. We played, all the Trine games we played together. And I've talked about the Trine games. They can be infuriating. They're fun, but they can be infuriating. We played those together. I can't get Split Fiction because, I could, but I don't have another. I'd have to get another PS5 controller. I don't feel like dropping like $70 on that, like another $50 on the game right now. We played a lot of the Switch stuff together. You know, the Yoshi game, the Mario Wonder. We can swap back and forth. Some we're playing together, some we pass the controller back and forth. Like on Super Mario Odyssey and stuff. And Donkey Kong. No, it wasn't Donkey. Two Kirby. There's a couple of Kirby games. Something like Forgotten Land. Played a lot of that stuff. We played some stuff on the Wii U together as well. That Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze we played on the Wii U. Other Mario games. We played Lego Jurassic. No, wait. Yes, we did play that together on the Wii U. Favorite probably was the Trine games, as much as they were infuriating, because those when we played start to finish. And then she goes back and gets all the other extra stuff. I'm like, I'm done. I can't. I can't anymore. Yeah, we played a decent amount of games together. What inspired me to start creating ASMR videos? Where do you see your channel going? Any kind of videos? Videos in the future is going to be the usual stuff. More shady vids. Try to do more role plays. It's going to be a lot of the same. Eating videos, reviews, some role plays, shady stuff, gameplays. All the same. I don't see anything really new coming in. What got me into it is I was looking up a person's videos and they had an ASMR channel. I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, this is interesting. And I got into more of it. I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. It's very weird at first to do it. But I got comfortable with it and then I started doing role plays and stuff. But that's how I found it out. I saw that and watched other people, and there's a bunch of channels. The popular ones at the time, and then I stopped, I gravitated away from them. They did great, incredible stuff, but I like the more lower key channels. And the channels just, hopefully it keeps going up, and I keep making vids, and everybody keeps enjoying them and stuff. And keep going from there. 25,000, well, 21,000's next. And next big number would probably be 25, whenever that comes. But, yeah, thank you for the questions. Why did I hit? No, wait, that's my. Oh my god. Leaky Bum. Why do you cheer for Portland? What's with the hat? Are you from Portland? I'm not from Portland. It's funny, this hat has been commented on in public in North Carolina and New York twice. Somebody in Florida's like, I like your hat. I don't think they knew what it was, though. I think they just liked the symbol. I'm not from Portland. When my friend was getting me into basketball, I was in 7th grade, it was the 91-92 season. I was choosing between Portland and San Antonio. I chose Portland, so I missed out on the 5 titles. I just liked the players: Drexler, Porter, Cliff Robinson, Buck Williams, Kersey, Duckworth, etc. And I'm not from there, though. But I like the team, I like the players, and I went from there. And that's just the team I chose, and it's been misery ever since. They immediately lost that title that year. Then they only made they got booed in the first round like 7 years in a row. Lost 2 conference finals, missed the playoffs, got back, blah, blah, blah. Now they've missed the playoffs a couple times, but they're getting better. But thank you for the question. Enrico H. asks, what type of ASMR do I prefer, soft-spoken or whisper? Oddly enough, I prefer, I love whispering. When I hear people whispering, I love it. In the videos, I actually do prefer the soft-spoken, though. I like doing it, I don't care. But sometimes I find myself going into that. I just go into soft-spoken more naturally these days. I don't know why. But when I'm listening to people, I love the whispers. I love plenty of people's whispers, but soft-spoken I actually kind of prefer a little bit, honestly. And you don't get it as much, but you do. It's not often, but it's just, I don't know. There's something about the soft-spoken that really gives me the tingles. The whispers do too, but man, a good soft-spoken, it's great. I like both, and you're going to hear more. It's going to be mostly more whispering you're going to get. It's probably 75% whispering, 25%. But when the channels I do some soft-spoken stuff, it's yes. But thank you for the question. Vic Gone, 130. Whoops. I'm responding to these with thumbs up. What did I do for a living before YouTube? What was my favorite job before making vids and ASMR? It was the question before. It was the screen printing stuff. That was my favorite thing that I did, and I was doing that with the videos too. But that was the favorite thing. That was the thing I was doing. Actually, did I start the channel? I think I started the channel before. I started a year before I started working with my one friend. I had worked at other places briefly, but that was my favorite one, was the print shop. And that was my favorite one as well. That's what I did for the living. And, well, I would get the ad revenue too, and the eBay stuff still, but that was the majority of it. But that was also my favorite thing to do as well. But thank you for the question. Seventh Swag Cage asks, what do you think of the top 10 centers of all time in basketball? I mean, Wilt Chamberlain's up there. I'm not going to put him in like a specific order, but Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Bill Russell are going to be three. You got to put in there. Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq, those five. David Robinson, 6. Patrick Ewing, 7. The center is not as big as it was. Like, it was a much more bigger deal back. Because Tim Duncan's a power forward, right? Like, Jokic, they're all power forwards. Isn't Giannis a power forward, too? I thought Sabonis was a great center, but he didn't play much because he came over when he was much older. If you go by his whole body of work, he's incredible, but he was still good. But I'm trying to think of other centers. What did I say? Was it 7 there? I'm going to be missing some good ones, I'm sure, but I'm trying to think of like other. I don't know a lot of the older ones outside of, like I said, Kareem, Russell, Wilt Chamberlain. Oh, that's 7. I'm trying to think of like the 90s. There's guys like Rick Smits and stuff, but I'm top 10, no. I'm trying to think of guys that played center like recently. Alonzo Mourning was really good. I'm forgetting some. I'm gonna say those 8, and there's plenty I've forgotten. But those top 7 are definitely probably the best. And the problem is I don't know all the players anymore, so I'm trying to think of other dudes, and it's just like Ben Wallace was really good. That was more defensive end though. But yeah, I'm gonna say those 8. I can't. I'd be sitting here thinking I'm forgetting a lot of names too. But thank you for the question. Psalm 2237. They're talking about like an old music ramble in the bands I talked about, but I did not mention Linkin Park. So they want to know what my thoughts are on them. I actually really liked their first album a lot. I thought it was really cool, good. Then I just kind of lost interest in them. I like some songs on their other albums that come out. I don't even know the names of the albums. I don't even know the names of songs. Never had anything against them. And the first album I actually really liked quite a bit. I don't even know a lot of the names of those songs. I really don't. But I remember liking that album quite a bit, like a lot. And a lot of like not like what was it like? In the End was one of the songs, and Crawling was one. There was the non-radio tunes were really good too. There was a couple on the back end of that album that I really liked, but I cannot remember the names of them. But yeah, I had nothing against them. I just really liked that first album, and then just kind of lost interest. There was, like I said, there was songs I also liked after that, but not as much as like that full album of that first album. But thank you for the question. Slav Guy 7114 asks, they're from Serbia. My question is, what are my impressions on Serbia if I have any ex-Yugoslavia countries, because they were broken up? Isn't that where Jokic is from? Nikola, the Joker's from Serbia, right? In Western movies, us and Russians are depicted as, I don't know why they're always depicted as the bad guys, criminals, mob bosses. It's weird. Is it like that in other countries over there, anywhere, where the people from the U.S. are the bad guys? I don't have much of an opinion. I know Sabonis was from Lithuania, and that's one of the countries, right? That's over there too, or they. I don't know all that stuff, and I don't want to be ignorant on all that stuff. I honestly don't have. I don't think they should be portrayed as bad guys all the time. Like, it's weird to me that that's always the case for some reason. But I do know Joker. I'm pretty sure is from Serbia, right? But I don't really have any opinion on any of that stuff. I apologize for that. But thank you for the question, though. Either way, but it is weird that I will say though, it is weird that they're always the bad. It was like watch it, like, okay, here we go again. They're the bad guys again. Like, they're always from certain countries all the time. They're always trying to do. Even a lot of the video games too, they would do that as well. Thank you for the question. Ricky LaFleur asks, oh wait, let me put the, I don't know why I'm still doing this, because this is part 2, and I'm definitely not doing a part 3. I'm getting through the rest of these now. I'm at a half hour already. Ricky LaFleur asks, what is my favorite comedy, or top 3 comedies? I really like The Burbs with Tom Hanks. Classic 80s comedy. Super Troopers is really good. I like a lot of their stuff. Beer Fest. The Broken Lizard, that's what they're called. Beer Fest is funny. I like Club Dread, even. Slam and Salmon I liked. I like their comedy style. Naked Gun is classic. They're doing the remake, comes out in August with Liam Neeson. It looks pretty funny, I gotta say. But that first Naked Gun's great. Spaceballs is classic. Airplane is incredible. I've been seeing a lot of clips for Airplane recently on YouTube. Those are all some of my favorites. I like a lot of the older kind of comedy, the 80s comedies, like stuff like that. I'm trying to think of some newer ones, but I can't think of any. I don't watch a shit ton of comedies, and I know they're making other Spaceballs now too, huh? But those are some of my favorites. I'd say probably Airplane or Naked Gun might, I don't know, be the favorite. This is goofy, that kind of goofy humor. But thanks for the question. Jonah Roth asks, which console would you buy next generation if you could have only one? It'd probably be whatever, the PS6, I guess, because I don't even know. They're getting all the Xbox exclusives now anyway. Nintendo is what it is. I'd probably go with the PS6, because I don't know what... Xbox can probably be all digital, and all their freaking exclusives are going elsewhere, so what's the point? Unless the Game Pass is like the only selling point for Xbox at this point. So it'd probably be the PS6, but thank you for the question. There's another person asking me to grow my beard. The Kratos. Mark G76 asks, I'm not going to have an answer for this one, but Messi or Ronaldo? They're both football, soccer players. I guess Messi, I know more about him than Ronaldo. Messi is Argentina? Is that where he's from? Is that who he... I know he doesn't play, like, when he plays in the Olympics and the World Cup, that's who he plays for, right? It's Argentina. I don't know enough. That's a question I can't really answer. There's a loud truck going by. This is my fear on the other video. But yeah, I'd say Messi, I guess. I don't know enough about either of them. I know they're both greats, but I don't have any, like, affinity or anything. But thank you for the question. Anthony De Lorenzo asks, if I could bring back one character that died in either of the Friday the 13th or Halloween franchises, who'd you choose and why? I mean, not saying, I guess, the killers, because they are done now, right? Michael Myers is dead now, finally. But if you're going by characters, Big Rick, baby, from, was he Friday the 13th 3? Big Rick gets his head crushed. Big Rick was classic. I don't think Tommy Jarvis ever got killed in the Friday the 13th. It's funny because Jamie Lee Curtis did get killed in Resurrection, but they don't count those ones as canon. It's the first one, and then the 18, and the kills and ends. So I won't say the main bad guys, because Michael Myers is officially dead now, until they reboot it. Or they're making a show, maybe? I'm trying to think. It's got to be Big Greg from Friday the 13th 3. Is there anybody else classic in the... I don't really get drawn to any of the characters in those movies, so I'm like, oh, whatever, they bid it. That's great. I'm going to say Big Rick from Friday the 13th 3. So, thank you for the question. I'm pretty sure it's 3. He gets his head crushed. It definitely is 3. That's with the other guy that's annoying. He wears the mask and scares the girl. I forget how he gets killed. The girl gets the harpoon through the eye. I forget how he gets it. That's when Jason just shoots her. He's just hanging out on the thing, casually shoots her and just casually walks off. He's just like, doo-doo-doo. Thank you for the question. BBE unboxing. Am I into the Deftones at all? Not really. I'm not surprisingly, I'm not into the Deftones. I know they're influenced by like Helmet and Faith No More. But I was just never, I mean, I like some of their stuff, but I don't even really know much of it. So I'm not really that into them. A couple of my friends really like them. And how do I... how did I come up with my names? Something Shadows, Under Cliches, I only use on my things because it used to be buried under cliches, my other YouTube channel, and the other one I'm making now, but my original one as well. And I couldn't fit that as a username on like Xbox and stuff, so I just called it Under Cliches. And Slip into Shadows, I just liked it. I was thinking, same thing with Buried Under Cliches when I came up with it back in '09. I just thought it sounded cool, popped up in my head in 3 words. Same thing with Slip into Shadows, so I just went with those both. I was like, hey, it sounds pretty cool. But, thank you for the question. ASMR Vandalay, I'm spelling that right, I don't know, asks, how many siblings do I have? I have 2 half-sisters and a half-brother. I have no full siblings. My dad had those kids with his second wife. They are all 10 to 12 years older, 9 to 12 years older than me. My brother is 9 years older than me. My one sister's 10, and I think the other sister's 12 years older than me. But those are the siblings I have. I've talked to my one sister sometimes on Instagram. I've not seen any of them in a long time. But I do have those half siblings. I have the benefit of being an only child, but also having siblings. But thank you for the question. Gabe Flores has 2 questions here. Let's just... They ask about, I talked about how gum chewing got my channel to blow up. If it wasn't an option, gum chewing, what series of style would you have wanted to be the one? I would have loved the shady videos that got me. Because those I love making, I can be stupid and creative with them and go all over the place. And some of them get traction depending on what it is. Those would have been the ones I would have loved people to have seen and really enjoyed, and that got me huge. Not huge, I mean, I'm not huge, but those would have been the reason I got it. I will say I should have started roleplays earlier and gum chewing earlier. I'd probably be at 30,000 subs now if I did. But yeah, it's the shady videos I would have loved. Because when I make certain videos like that, any kind of roleplay, and they don't view well, it's discouraging to me when they don't view well. Because I love doing those. And then it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't make them because people aren't into them. But then I continue to make them. And some do well, some don't. But those would have been the ones, the shady vids. And they have a second question, and it is, my fondest YouTube memory, well, no, you've been on my phone, freshman year in high school, and now he's going to his 4th year of college. That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, on a really quick aside, that people have been watching my stuff for something they're younger, and now they're like in their 20s getting old, and just like, holy shit. It's still surreal in a lot of ways. But thank you for the kind words here. Literally, they're ASMR rock. It's nice to hear that people like my stuff and it helps them and shit. That actually means the most. Even more than the money. His friends make money for ASMR. ASMR is an interesting thing. Some of my friends too, they love it. They're like, oh yeah, you're making some cash on there. You enjoy doing it. That's awesome. But some are like, that was a weird one. My favorite memory though. I don't know. Hitting 1,000 subs might be my top one. Because I think when anyone hits 1,000 subs, it's such a big number. It really is. You know, and the 20,000 was awesome too. 10,000 was great. The run actually I had, and I'm having another great run now, but it wasn't like that one. Where it was 22, 4 months. It was like 700 subs, 800 subs. It was April, May, June, July of 22. That was awesome. It was there was a string of memories. Everything I was putting up, people were loving it. Subs were coming in constantly. I really was like, this is awesome. Reaching a ton more people. That's probably my favorite memory in terms of it's an extended memory, but getting that push was awesome. But thank you for those questions. Krugel, I apologize. Krugel LRL or Krugel. They ask, have I ever had New Haven pizza? I have not. That's Connecticut, right? Is that where Mystic Pizza is? I have not had that. No, I'm sure Connecticut's pizza is probably like New York's pizza and Jersey's pizza. It's probably really good. I don't think I've been to Connecticut. I've gone to Foxwoods a bunch of times. I've been to Connecticut for some other stuff, but I've never had pizza in Connecticut. So no, I've not had New Haven pizza. But thank you for the question, Cody Caldwell asks, how did me and my fiance meet? It's nothing crazy. We met off OkCupid. Is OkCupid still a thing? I don't know. That's how we met on there. Went back and forth. I think I messaged her first. We Dave and Buster's first. It might have still been Jillian's at the time, or was it Dave and Buster's? That was our first date. Then we went to a park, and I won't even tell a story because it's not embarrassing for her, but it's kind of funny. But I don't bring it up. And we went from there. But that's how we just met on OkCupid. I messaged her, went back and forth a little bit, and shared pictures and whatnot, and then met at Dave and Buster's. But she didn't know me enough, obviously, so I took the cab there. I couldn't get a ride home from her. I had to take the cab home. Because she's like, I'm not letting you in my car. I'm a stranger in my car. And she did not think I was interested, though, because when I meet people and I don't know them at first, I don't like to make eye contact with people when I'm talking to them. So I can sometimes seem aloof and, like, not interested. And she thought that, and I asked her out again. And it went from there. But nothing crazy, just an online website. But thank you for the question. John Smith asked, how did I stay so cool into adulthood? I don't know if I'm cool, but I just remain myself. And the thing is, I think a lot of people, I'm Gen X, the tail end of Gen X. And I think millennials, Gen Z, whatever they're calling the rest of them now, whatever the fuck they are, Gen R, T, whatever the fuck. I think a lot of people now, more so than the older generations, carry over a lot of the stuff they liked from their childhood. So video games is still cool. I'm still playing video games. Younger generations are playing video games. I think there's more stuff to bond older and younger people. Like I'm 40, in my 40s. People in their 30s or 20s. I can talk to somebody in their 20s about video games because I still play them. Sports. A lot of people are still into sports. You can talk to younger generations or even older generations as well about sports. I mean, and I'm not the same as I was as a kid, but I don't know. I think that's why, just because I can really, why can't I think of the word? I don't know why I can't think of the word. Oh my God. I can get along with a lot of people from different generations, older and younger. There's things that we have in common, I guess, Maybe that's why, I don't know. I don't consider myself cool. I'm the coolest, though. No, I do. I'm so cool. But anyway, thanks for the question. ABW Football asks, what are my top 3 Black Sabbath songs and top 3 Black Sabbath albums? Songs are Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, it's probably my favorite. Sweet Leaf and Children of the Grave, which I believe are on the same album. Yes. Favorite album, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Master of Reality. And Paranoid, probably. As well as Sabotage is really good. I don't know every Black Sabbath tune. But man, some of the Black Sabbath, the sick riff, and then the mellow part. It's such a great tune. Children of the Grave is a great riff, so Sweet Leaf. A lot of their songs. Tony Iommi, he's one of the riff masters. But those are definitely 3 favorite songs, and those are probably my 3 favorite albums. Because Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath is on Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and I'm pretty sure Children of the Grave and Sweet Leaf are on Master Reality. I could be wrong. Those are my favorites, though. Great riff. Sabbath has just sick riffs. Like, they really have some of the best. But thank you for the question. Marlon Anson asks, what's my favorite movie series ever? My favorite movie series. Oh. What would be? The Lord of the Rings movies were incredible. Probably that. The Halloweens is tough. I love the Halloweens, but there's a lot of shit. But I do love the series. The Star Wars are cool, but even that I've lost interest in. Some of them aren't that good anymore. I like the prequels. I like the original trilogy. I really liked Force Awakens, and I've seen only parts of Last Jedi, and I didn't like what I saw. And I saw some of the Rise of Skywalker, and I've talked about this. I thought the beginning of it was a fucking comedy. There was something where the guy was Poe Dameron was talking to the Hux guy, and I thought it was a comedy the way they were talking. I was like, what the? I was lost interest, but I still like those first 6. What was the first one I said? Christ, Jurassic Park movies are pretty cool. I gotta say, I like most of those. I haven't seen the new one yet. There's none of them I hate, although that second one, not Dominion was the last one. Jurassic World, the second Jurassic World movie, was probably the weakest by far for me. I forget what it was called, though. It was like auctioning off the dinosaurs. They grab them. But I think Dominion was the third one. They brought back a lot of the old people from the other ones. And the first one is my favorite, and the third one is my second favorite. Jurassic Park's cool. I like the Blair Witch and the Blair Witch 2: Book of Shadows. Underrated movie. I can't. What was the first one I said? Why did I forget the first? Oh my god! I mentioned the Halloweens. What did I mention before that? The Bond movies are really cool. The Mission Impossibles. It might be the Mission Impossible movies, because all the ones I've seen, I have not seen 2 of them, are really good. I do like the Mission Impossibles. The Indiana Jones. You know what? I take it back. It's probably the Indiana Jones franchise movie series. Those are probably my favorite, because I like them all. Last Crusade's my favorite, then Raise the Lost Ark. I like Dial of Destiny quite a bit. I know people hated on it. And I enjoyed Crystal Skull as well. Crystal Skull's my least favorite, because it had some goofy parts. Overall, I liked it, though. I like all of them. In the end, it's the Indiana Jones movies. That's my favorite. Thanks for the question. So I got a couple of questions left here. Aquatic Fox asks, well, the first one was, like the other person had me and my fiance meet, it was just OkCupid. Just an online website. There's no, she put, definitely skip it. There's nothing personal about it. It was just going back and forth on OkCupid, meeting up. And like I said, she didn't want to drive me home because I was still a stranger. And I'm not going to throw her under the bus. For the second time we hung out, and what she brought with her, out of fear, I'll let it go from there. I still joke about her with that, though. But no, that's just how we met, just OkCupid. And the second one, she asks if you could pick an old game to remake and bring it to modern systems, or to get a sequel on a modern system, what would you pick? I'm going to tell you, I'll go through a few games here real quickly. I want another Stuntman game that's not overly old, and I want another Condemned. There's only been 2 apiece of those. It's bullshit. Those games didn't sell enough. I'd love to see those. An older game, I'd love to see a remake of UN Squadron. It would be sick. Just shoot them up. Just straight 2D. Just looks better graphically. It would be cool. Final Fantasy 6 or 3, I'd love to see a remake of that. Love to see it. They're doing Final Fantasy 7 and stuff. Do Final Fantasy 6, because holy shit. Because then you're going from 16-bit all the way to now. It was a massive jump in the remake from Final Fantasy 7 on the PlayStation to now. But yeah, it's Final Fantasy 6. You know what? Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. Let's see that get remade without the glitch. No, keep the glitches in there. Final Fantasy 6 would be the one, though. And thank you for the questions. And Spartan Paco asks, is it better to serve in heaven or reign in hell? I don't know if I'd want to serve or reign. Maybe I just want to hang out in either place. I don't want to be serving. Reign in hell. I have reign over everybody. Be kind of cool, I guess. Do I want to serve? I don't want to serve or reign. I'd rather we all just be hanging out. I'm not telling you what to do. You're not telling me what to do. We all do something to pitch in. That's how it should be. I'm not the type that would want to lead or reign, and I don't want to be serving somebody either. I want everybody to be on the same level. Not that that's possible, but thank you for your question. Did I get everybody? If I missed somebody, let me know, and in my next ramble I can answer them, but I'm pretty sure I got everything, right? Did I get them all? I'm seeing the thumbs up. Portland one. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Yeah, I think I got everybody. All right, everybody, thanks for the questions. You know what? I'm filming this one's gonna be going Thursday. No, wait. Yes. This one's going up Wednesday. This one upload. The part one's being uploaded. Right? Let's see if I happen to get another one. No, all right, good. All right. That's the second part of the Q&A, the 20 kind of K celebration. Over both of them, thanks everybody again for your questions. Thanks everybody who subbed to me, enjoyed my vids. You've been sub for a while, you're a recent sub, whatever it may be. Thanks for everything as always, and here's to more subs and more vids. Thanks everybody for checking us out.